This is a mini devotional I have written, and it's called Moses and the Cost of Anger. Moses had a righteous anger. He did the right thing in the wrong way. Exodus 2, verse 11 through 15. Now it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out to his brethren and looked at their burdens. And he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, one of his brethren. So he looked this way and that way, and when he saw no one, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, 2 Hebrew men were fighting. And he said to the one who did the wrong, Why are you striking your companion? Then he said, Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you intend to kill me as you killed the Egyptian? So Moses feared and said, Surely this thing is known. When Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to kill Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. So you want to go ahead and read on down the scripture to get the full account, but basically he was found out for killing a man in his anger, and he fled from Pharaoh. And if you read on through, you will find that he was there 40 years. So his anger, his act of anger, cost him 40 years in the desert. This is a second incident that I want to read, and this is in Exodus 32, verse 15 through 20. And Moses turned and went down from the mountain, and the 2 tablets of the testimony were in his hand. The tablets were written on both sides. On the one side and on the other they were written. Now the tablets were the work of God, and the writing was the writing of God engraved on the tablets. And when Joseph heard the noise of the people, and when Joshua heard the noise of the people as they shouted, he said to Moses, There is a noise of war in the camp. But he said, It is not the noise of the shout of victory, nor the noise of the cry of defeat, but the sound of singing I hear. So it was as soon as he came near the camp that he saw the calf and the dancing. So Moses' anger became hot, and he cast the tablets out of his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain. Then he took the calf, which they had made, burned it in the fire, and ground it to powder, and he scattered it on the water and made the children of Israel drink it. And it cost him 40 days. He went back up to the mountain and had to get the stones again from God, and it cost him 40 more days because of his anger. So you see here Moses wanting to do the right thing, but he's doing it in the wrong way, and it seems to be a trend. And I have one more instance that I would like to read to you. This is Numbers 20, verse 2 through 12. Now there was no water for the congregation, so they gathered together against Moses and Aaron, and the people contended with Moses and spoke, saying, If only we had died when our brethren died before the Lord. Why have you brought up the assembly of the Lord into this wilderness, that we and our animals should die here? And why have you made us come up out of Egypt to bring us to this evil place? It is not a place of grain or figs or vines or pomegranates, nor is there any water to drink. So Moses and Aaron went from the presence of the assembly to the door of the tabernacle of meeting, and they fell on their faces, and the glory of the Lord appeared to them. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Take the rod, you and your brother Aaron, gather the congregation together. Speak to the rock before their eyes, and it will yield its water. Thus you shall bring water for them out of the rock, and give drink to the congregation and their animals. So Moses took the rod from before the Lord as he commanded him. And Moses and Aaron gathered the assembly together before the rock, And he said to them, "Hear now, you rebels, must we bring water for you out of this rock?" Then Moses lifted his hand and struck the rock twice with his rod, and water came out abundantly, and the congregation and their animals drank. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, "Because you did not believe me to hallow me in the eyes of the children of Israel, therefore you shall not bring this assembly into the land which I have given them." So, because Moses disobeyed before the people, he was penalized before the people, and the cost of the whole 40 years of his life in the desert, the cost was he would not enter into the promised land. So he led the people. He was the advocate to Pharaoh, and he went through all of this, all the years of his life, and he didn't get to enter. So we notice a trend here. We notice 40 years in the desert. We notice 40 days and 40 nights again on the mountain, getting a new set of the stones tablets. And then we see another 40 years in the desert in which he did not get to enter the promised land. So what I'm seeing here is the cost of Moses' anger. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed day. It's all about Jesus.